Aloha guys, welcome back to my channel. Mermaid Nina here. Well, Genie Plus did it again, guys. Another updates, planning change video for you guys. I'm hoping it's gonna be a quick one. And this is recent, like happened yesterday. So first I want to announce that it is 2023 and Genie Plus hasn't changed as I hoped. So if you've watched any of those videos where I was hoping and praying and all those things that Genie Plus would indeed change for the new year, it hasn't. So make sure you watch those videos on how to use Genie Plus because they're really gonna matter in terms of this change. You guys with me? So let's hop to it. So the thing that happened is sadly something I talked about before that I knew was gonna happen. We just didn't know when, right? It is something that is actually in the fine print of Genie Plus, and that is subject to limited availability. Yeah, that is something I have been interpreting for months, basically telling you guys that there is a chance Genie Plus could sell out. There was a time where I did tell you that Genie Plus, because of the subject to limited availability, it could sell out. Therefore, you might want to purchase as early as midnight. Midnight is when you can purchase Genie Plus on each given park day. Well, I am really sad to say, guys, it happened. 100% Genie Plus has now officially sold out in a given park day. And unfortunately, it happened on 2 park days in a row. So, what are we gonna do, guys? So we're gonna talk about it here in this video. So yes, in the past 2 days, and like I said, this happened yesterday and the day before that. So this is very recent. Genie Plus has indeed sold out, but it sold out in 2 ways. Now let's talk about what I mean. First, I am gonna post screenshots because you guys know me. I am all about being honest and real and actual. There is no clickbait in my videos, so I'm gonna pop up screenshots as best I can. If I don't have the correct one up, just know that this indeed 100% happened. So, starting February 19th, which was indeed a Sunday, President's Day, a weekend, Mardi Gras, midwinter break, mid-February, whatever you want to call it, right? Genie Plus sold out for purchase. That means if you wanted to purchase Genie Plus, it was sold out, meaning early bird gets the worm, unfortunately. I knew this was going to happen, guys. I knew it was going to happen. I thought it was going to happen over Christmas, and it didn't. Not sure why it happened now, but note that it did. And it's in the fine print that it can, so there's nothing we can really do about it, right? So just note that you can purchase Genie Plus as early as midnight. I always suggest in my videos that you make sure you purchase it prior to 7 o'clock, right? Because at 7 o'clock is when you would get on the app and try to get your first Genie Plus redemption pastime, right? Now we are in a who knows situation. It did sell out around 1 o'clock or roughly before 1 o'clock. Basically, I'm saying it was about 1 o'clock that I noticed it was sold out. And it didn't just sell out for Magic Kingdom. It sold out for all 4 parks. So what does this mean? This means that if you did not purchase Genie Plus that day, you didn't purchase it at midnight, you didn't purchase it at 7 a.m., perhaps you waited to get to the park to see how long those lines are, and then you purchased Genie Plus, or you attempted to purchase Genie Plus after you realized the lines were too long and you didn't want to deal with it, or perhaps you were someone who slept in and thought, well, I'll just purchase Genie Plus when we get to the parks. Well, unfortunately, it sold out, which means people couldn't then purchase Genie Plus past 1 o'clock on that day. It's a little crazy. It's a little crazy, but again, it was in the fine print. I knew it was gonna happen. So as everyone was kind of shocked and all the bloggers and vloggers put out all the information out there, I think most people were really shocked, or at least I was, that it actually sold out the next day as well. That's right. So Monday, February 20th, yesterday, it sold out as well. I was checking Tipboard all day actually to see if it was gonna happen. And I'm taking screenshots and I'm doing my Nina thing, right? And yeah, it sold out about 2:30. Genie Plus was gone. Again, if you wanted to purchase it because you were a little late to the game, it was sold out for you, which means you needed to have purchased it earlier. So sadly, I'm not gonna say Genie Plus is gonna sell out daily, right? We are in a peak season situation. President's Day, Mardi Gras, that third week in February is notorious for being uber popular. But one has to wonder, is this the future for peak season? I mean, we have spring break right around the corner. Does this mean people who are going to Disney World over spring break, they're gonna have to purchase Genie Plus at midnight? Definitely wanna try to purchase by 7 o'clock. You definitely don't wanna be that person who slept in hoping to catch it later in the day. But we are in a trend at this point. 2 days in a row, Genie Plus is flat selling out. Now, Disney cracks me up, guys. Very frustrating, but cracks me up. They have been trying and trying to reduce the number of people who purchase Genie Plus for weeks, months, maybe even a year at this point, because they apparently didn't design a program that was suitable for all their guests. It is a program that is suitable for a certain portion of guests. So first, when Genie Plus first came out, you could purchase it with your package. You could call your travel agent and say, hey, can you add Genie Plus to my package? We could totally do that. Then Disney was like, nope, can't add it to packages anymore. We're gonna make it more difficult for you guys. We're gonna make you buy it each given park day. So starting at midnight, you can purchase Genie Plus. This is what Disney came out and said. Then I think they realized they needed to add more attractions to the list. So then Disney started adding more attractions and rides and shows and things that you could use your Genie Plus passes on to kind of spread out the herd of guests, right? Then they came out, because that wasn't good enough, then they came out and said, you know what? We're gonna raise the price of Genie Plus. Genie Plus was a flat rate of $15. If you've seen that video, I tell you Genie Plus is 15 bucks. Plus tax per person per park day. Well, Disney said, that's not working for us anymore. Too many people are buying Genie Plus. So they raised the price, right? So it is now a flexed, date-based, crowd-based pricing. It can get anywhere up to what? I think it's been at the most $35 per person per park day. So it went from 15 to 35 and anywhere in between. You could wake up that morning and Genie Plus could be $22 like it is today. Yesterday, it was $29 per person per park day. So those 2 days where it sold out, February 19th and February 20th, Genie Plus was $29 plus tax per person per park day, and Disney still couldn't handle the amount of people who purchased it. They just couldn't, so they just cut everyone off and they said no more purchasing of Genie Plus. So yes, sadly, I think this is a trend. I think this is what the future holds until Disney can fix Genie Plus. Obviously, they created a system that we all hate. I mean, who's out there that's like, yeah, I really love Genie Plus. I really love spending extra money on my vacation. I don't know anyone who says that, right? But it is the only way to skip the line, and you just have to play that game. Is it worth it to you to spend $29 per person per park day to skip X number of rides, right? To not have to wait 60 minutes, 2 hours, 3 hours for a given number of rides, right? That is up to you. That is how you kind of figure it out if it's worth it to you. But apparently, too many people are finding it worth it. Too many people are purchasing Genie Plus. Disney doesn't know what to do. Their Genie Plus passes are selling out. We're gonna get to it. Those return Lightning Lane lines, if they don't monitor that, that can get too long, right? So the whole point of purchasing Genie Plus is so you can say, skip the line, right? But if too many people purchase, too many people got a return time for a given ride at the same time, and that Lightning Lane line is just too long, where is the worth it in there, right? So Disney obviously has to cut something off so that people who purchased it have a situation where they found it worth it, right? So yes, that is exactly what Disney did. They are just cutting people off. And sadly, I mentioned it a second ago, not to add more fuel to this fire, but the actual ride passes have been selling out too, like early. So, like I said, I was watching the app like a crazy person yesterday, Tipboard. I was taking screenshots. I'm like looking at these rides like I tell you guys to do. I did it for you, okay? So I'm looking at it and I'm going, oh my, why is this ride sold out already? It's 1 o'clock. Why is this ride sold out? So this is the situation where I say that Genie Plus sold out in 2 ways. Not only could you not purchase anymore, thus selling out, but the actual rides that you would want to get a pass for were selling out, which means no more Genie Plus passes for that given ride for that day. Which means even if you spent $29 per person plus tax for that day before it sold out, doesn't mean you even got the rides you wanted, because so many people purchased it, so many people got those return times that Disney had to cut it off. They had to say, we just can't support more people. So sadly, that's the situation we're in. It sold out, right? Purchasing it sold out and the ride sold out. So I want to give you guys a little bit of information here to help you guys, right? My videos are all to help you guys. And I know sometimes this stuff is confusing, and I know I suggest you watch other videos that give you more info, but this is real-time situation. Okay, so yesterday, February 20th, I noticed Genie Plus sold out for the day. I also noticed by 1 o'clock, a good chunk of ride passes were already gone, meaning if you wanted to Genie Plus that ride, you couldn't. They were gone. All the return passes were gone. But at 3 p.m., I looked again. So it was roughly like 2:30, 2:45 up until 3 p.m. I scrolled through all 4 parks to see how many rides were indeed sold out for the day. Meaning if you purchased Genie Plus, you couldn't Genie Plus these rides because all the pass return times were gone. Now, the point of telling you all of this information is so you can plan ahead, guys. So if you're going into a peak season situation where Genie Plus could indeed sell out and the ride return times could indeed sell out, you have a list of rides that are going soonest. Hopefully you guys are with me on this. So obviously, yes, individual Lightning Lane rides, the ones you actually pay for, were gone, right? So Rise of the Resistance, Avatar Flights of Passage, Guardians of the Galaxy, gone. If you wanted to pay for those rides to get a return time, gone. By 3 p.m., those were gone earlier in the day, but we're talking about 3 p.m., right? Seven Dwarf Mine Train was still available, but the return time was like in the 8 p.m. zone, right? Okay, so let's get into it. Again, I'm going park by park. So sold out, no more Genie Plus passes for you to get in that day. Safari, Kilimanjaro Safaris was sold out. You could not get a return pass. You could, however, wait standby for 85 minutes. Navi River Journey. Now, I talk about this a lot in my Animal Kingdom itinerary videos. I always tell you guys to pass Safari and Navi River Journey. This is why. Navi River Journey, gone by 3 p.m. Its standby was 115 minutes. That's almost 2 hours for that like kiddie ride, guys. Next up, I want to note not Everest. Mount Everest, which you think would have sold out because it's a coaster, did not. It still had availability, and like the return time of like 4 to 5 p.m. was not sold out by 3 p.m. Next up, we have the Falcon. The Millennium Falcon was sold out with a standby time of 85 minutes. Slinky Dog, obviously, I have a whole video on this. Slinky Dog is gone by like 7 a.m. That standby time was 160 minutes, guys. Rock and Roller Coaster, gone. Standby was 95. Tower of Terror, gone. Standby time, 120 minutes. 2 hours. Next up, we have Epcot. So, if you've seen my Epcot itinerary video, there are 3 rides I tell you to make Number one, especially if you have kiddos, where 2 of those were gone, right? Frozen Ever After, gone, standby, 145 minutes. Ouch. Remy, standby, 90 minutes. Those passes were gone. And of course, I do tell you in those itinerary videos that if you are interested in the more coaster-like rides, including Test Track, yeah, that was gone as well. That standby was 75 minutes. Again, at 3 p.m., these rides were gone. You could not Genie Plus pass them anymore. Your only option was to wait standby in these super duper long lines. Next up, Magic Kingdom, right? Jungle Cruise. I tell you in my itinerary videos, me as a family with kiddos, I passed this ride first for good reason. That pass was gone. Standby, 60 minutes. Meeting Ariel in her grotto. Now, this is a new experience. I have talked about it. It is uber popular because you get to meet Ariel as a mermaid, right? Not Ariel with human legs. Ariel as a mermaid. That was gone. However, the standby was only 35 minutes, which most little kiddos can wait. Meeting Cinderella was gone. Now, this one shocked me. You can meet Cinderella. You've been able to meet Cinderella for a super duper long time. Why that is gone, I have no idea, but it was gone. Standby for Cindy, it was 50 minutes. Peter Pan, I talk about this all the time. I don't know why that ride gets so long, so quick. It's like 45 seconds. But of course, Peter was gone with a standby of 75 minutes, guys. This is to clue you in. If you're gonna get Genie Plus, you need to do these rides first. These are the rides you need to pass first at 7 a.m., at 11 a.m., whatever situation you're doing, whether it's ride pass ride or stacking, these are the ones you want to put top on your list. If you are not a Genie Plus person, I get it. These are also going to be the rides you're going to have to run to as soon as the park is open, because those wait times are only getting longer and longer. So like I said, I noticed this around 2:30, 2:45. By the time I finished checking everything, it was roughly 3 o'clock. Well, I did the same thing again at 5 p.m., guys. So I have more things to add to the list. Everything else was pretty much gone. Everything kind of popular or exciting was gone. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, gone. That standby was 85 minutes. Alien Swirling Saucers was gone with a standby of 45 minutes. Mick and Min's Runaway Railway. Now, I was surprised this didn't sell out sooner, to be honest with you. But by 5 o'clock, it was gone with a standby of 90. And Enchanted Tales with Belle, this shocks me, but it is a returning experience. This just came out, and all those families with kiddos who have been waiting to meet Belle and all that situation have made Enchanted Tales with Belle a little popular right now. That was gone by 5 o'clock, but that standby was only 35 minutes. So again, not too terrible to wait. But like I said, by 1 o'clock, a good chunk of these were already gone. I just didn't mention, I didn't really screenshot at 1 o'clock, but I was shocked by 3 o'clock to see that many things gone. So what is the point in me telling you all of this? I am not trying to be the bearer of bad news, guys. This is just what it's like. Peak season, busy season. I know a lot of people think it's February. It's not peak season. Unfortunately, it could be. For years and years, I had clients going in January, which we thought wasn't peak season. All of a sudden, it becomes peak season. So we are just in a situation we don't know. We don't know when we book a trip that 6 months, 8 months down the line that our dates could end up being in peak season. Peak season is not just spring break, Christmas, and Thanksgiving. It's not. There are certain pockets of dates throughout the calendar that hit into peak season. Anytime kids are out of school is peak season. Now, just because your kids are in school doesn't mean kids from New Jersey or Florida or California or a different country like the UK having a holiday. It doesn't mean people not in your area, they could be having a kids out of school situation. So just because your kids are in school doesn't mean other kids aren't in school, thus causing a peak season situation. So it really is kind of smart to know this information, because you might get thrown into it. That morning you might be like, oh my gosh, Are we in peak season? I had no clue. One way to kind of clue you in though, I'll tell you, is if you go to purchase Genie Plus that morning and it's $15, probably not a busy season. If you go to purchase Genie Plus that morning and it's $29, $30, $35, you're probably in peak season, and that's when you want to pay attention to these rides that sell out fast. But I'm not trying to be the bearer of bad news, guys. I'm trying to just help you plan. This is a situation where you 100% want to come up with that top 5 game plan in each park. So I listed out the rides for you. If you're going to Animal Kingdom, you want to do Pandora, right? If you want to do Flights of Avatar, and then definitely Safari and Navi River Journey. I was shocked that Dinosaur and Everest still had availability. These are the things you want to put above other stuff. Epcot, I tell you guys about Frozen and Remy all the time, but this shows Test Track. For those of you who want those coasters, Test Track outbeat Soarin' and Mission Space. So this is information that I'm hoping is hopeful for you down the road, right? So I have those itinerary planning videos. I have one for like the average kind of family or people interested in a big chunk of all the rides, right? And then I have one, directed towards children, just people who want to focus on characters and shows and parades and all that good stuff. But I made those itinerary videos for your average day. I did not make those itinerary videos for peak crazy season. When you're in a situation like this and all these rides are going away and Genie Plus is selling out and you're like ready to pull out your hair, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. You have to just kind of fly by the seat of your pants, and you need to just Genie Plus the rides that you want the most, that top 5 list. You might end up being a human ping pong ball. I know I talk about how you don't want to be one, but if it's really important to you that you ride Safari and you ride Navi River Journey, you might have to be that ping pong ball, right? If you really want to do Jungle Cruise and Ariel Grotto and then, Enchanted Tales with Belle, I mean, those are like not even close to each other. That again is your human ping pong ball. So sadly, you do have to make a choice, right? Do I want to avoid being the human ping pong ball, but maybe I miss kind of my top rides? Or is it more important that I get those top rides and I kind of deal with the fact that I'm running all over the park like a crazy person? Or at least you feel like a crazy person because you're like, wow, I saw that already 5 times today. That's how I feel like at Epcot sometimes. I'm like, boom, boom, boom. I've been in this country 6 times already. It's just kind of the way it is. So take my itinerary videos, jot down those notes, but remember when you're in peak season, all bets are off. Come up with your top 5 planning list and just do it. Kind of just go with the flow at this point. You just want to prepare for that, right? So the best way to do that is do like I did for this video. I studied the tip board. I literally took screenshots, as you guys saw, as rides were selling out. This tells me this is a peak ride, a popular ride, a top ride that I should be Genie Plusing first. You definitely want to score purchasing Genie Plus as soon as you can. Do you have to do it at midnight? At this point, maybe not, because those passes were selling out at 1 o'clock, but you definitely want to get them. Eventually, we could be in a situation where you do have to purchase it at midnight. I don't think we're there yet, but it could be on the horizon, right? So you want to study tip board, you want to get the purchasing of Genie Plus as soon as you can, and you want to get the actual Genie Plus passes for those key rides first, those top rides. And again, top rides aren't just coasters, as you saw by my list. Enchanted Tales with Belle, I mean, please, that is not a crazy coaster, but it went first, right? So just kind of know those things going into it. But this is the key thing, guys. This is the best thing to know. And it doesn't mean that if you only got to Genie Plus 3 things, that you're only riding 3 things, right? As you're waiting for your Genie Plus return time, this is when you do those smaller rides, those rides that don't have as long as a wait, or you mix in, okay, well, I saved 3 hours by passing Frozen Ever After. This might mean I have to wait an hour for Test Track, right? You kind of have to do that bending and flexing and mixing and matching of the Genie Plus passes and waiting standby. It just kind of is what it is, unfortunately, especially in peak season. But I also want to note again, this is February. Today is February 21st. Genie Plus today is $22. And as of right now, again, I've been checking, has not sold out. But this is the start of hot, very hot season. Right now at Disney is in the upper 80s, projected to be in the 90s later this week. So we have crowds, right? We just talked about all the crowds. Genie Plus is selling out. We have the crazy Florida heat starting, and we have long waits. It's all happening right now in this moment. So you just have to prepare. I have so many videos on how to prepare for Disney World, how to prepare for the heat, how to do Genie Plus, learning about Genie Plus, how to do the app. If you don't know how to use the app, I'm just gonna say it, you're kind of screwed. It is really, really important that you know what you're doing in the moment on this app. Like I said, my itinerary videos, I have packing videos, packing for the heat, packing for peak season, packing for the winter, whatever situation we're in. I even have videos on how you can save money at Disney World. So make sure you check them all out, because again, I am just trying to help you guys. But for me, love it or hate it, we all hate it, but it is the only way to skip the line. So yes, I will be still purchasing Genie Plus. Me personally, when my family goes, we're headed to Disney World, surprise, next month. I will be purchasing Genie Plus. I will be purchasing it early, and I will be adjusting which passes or how I use my passes in the moment, because we will be there during peak season. March, pretty much all of March. Yeah, that's the start of spring break. Yeah, we'll just be adjusting what I actually Genie Plus pass. And we're just gonna have to go with the flow. All the rides that I listed as sold out are gonna be key. Those are your goals. If it sells out early, you wanna use your Genie Plus pass for it. And you can check what sells out early, right? All I did was go on Tipboard. At 1 o'clock, I did a check. At 3 o'clock, I did a check. At 5 o'clock, I did a check. This is how you know which one of the rides you're interested in, one of your top 5 rides, which one is on your list. You can see how fast it books up, how fast it sells out. This is how you cater the plan for you. So again, Genie Plus, you have 2 options. You can do what I call pass ride, pass ride. So at 7 o'clock, you've already purchased Genie Plus, and you go to get your first Genie Plus return time. If your return time is less than, say, I don't know, 11 o'clock, right? If your return time is at 10:30, if your return time is at 9 o'clock, you're starting to do a pass ride situation. Because even though you got the pass at 7 o'clock, your return time could be 9:30. It could be 10:30. Then when you get to the park, you ride that ride. As you're in that ride, in the line, in the queue, you have your magic band on or whatever you're doing. You've scanned in 1 time, then sometimes they make you scan in again. That's 2 times, right? Scan in twice. I always talk about that. You can actually, while you're in line, get another pass. You can keep doing this. This is what I call pass ride, because you got the pass, you're on the ride, you're passing again, and if that return time is, in less than 2 hours, then you ride that ride and you pass again. This is what I call pass ride. This is what my family usually does. However, when we're in a peak situation or we're in like Christmas morning, we like to sleep in, we go have breakfast, this is when we do stacking. Stacking could be very important right now during peak season. So again, 7 a.m., you've already purchased Genie Plus, you wake up and you're getting that first return time. Except this time, the return time for whatever ride you chose is say 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m. Because you picked a peak popular ride, the return time has gone so fast that you have a super late in the day return time. This is when you're gonna start stacking. 2 hours after official park opening. So if the park opens at 9, at 11 o'clock, you can pass again, meaning you can go back on the app and get another return time for a different ride to ride later in the day. Because it's 11 o'clock, you might get a return time for noon, in which case you would just ride it and you still have that other ride kind of dangling out there. Or you can pass another popular ride, for example, Remy and Frozen Ever After. At 7 a.m., you may have gotten Remy for 4 p.m. Then at 11 o'clock, you passed again, and this time you got Frozen Ever After for 5:30. So now sitting in your bank, you have a 4 o'clock and a 5:30. You got a pass at 7 and you got another pass at 11. 2 hours after 11 is 1 o'clock. You get to pass again. And you still have Remy and Frozen kind of sitting out here. This is when you can try for Test Track, you can try for Soarin', you can try for whatever you're interested in. But these are your options. I explain all of this fully in my Genie Plus explanation videos. I do have two. So yeah, hopefully this makes sense, guys. Depending on your situation and depending on what rides you're interested in, you could either pass ride, or you can stack 7 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and you're getting rides to ride later. Meanwhile, you're in the park, it's 9 o'clock, you're just gonna wait standby for stuff because your Genie Plus stuff is kind of sitting in your Genie Plus bank and you're just waiting standby for all these rides. Hopefully this makes sense. Again, guys, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the fine print has been in there for Genie Plus for months and I've been talking about it and sadly it happened. Genie Plus can 100% sell out for the day, so you want to purchase it early. When you're in peak season, the return pass times can sell out, which means the ride that you want might not be able to be Genie Plussed. So if you want something that badly, get it at 7 a.m., get it at 11 a.m., get it in the morning, get it early. Hopefully you guys are with me, but again, we're in a who knows what situation because Disney is constantly changing. And like I said, with this being in the fine print, we didn't know when it was gonna pop up. Well, it did, and it has, and now we have some concerns. Now we know that it can happen, so we just have to prepare for it. So yes, passes are going, gone. Genie Plus purchasing can sell out. And you just want to know what you're doing. That's why I mentioned all the videos. That's why I kind of talked about how you stack, because you don't want to go into a situation where you spent all this money and you feel like you wasted it, right? No one wants to feel like they wasted their money. So if you're going during peak season, you're going during busy season, you want to focus on your top 10 and you really want to know how to use Genie Plus so that you can get it all done for your family, for your trip, for your vacation. But that's it for me, guys. Again, I hope this video helped you out because unfortunately it is a change to Genie Plus, to the policy for all those people that kind of slept in and got Genie Plus later. You might want to rethink that because we could be in a Genie Plus sells out at 8 a.m. situation. I mean, it could happen. It hasn't happened yet, but it could because spring break, yeah, that is right around the corner. But as always, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it helped you out. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. If the subscribe button is red, please click it, turn it gray, hit the bell icon for notifications, like this video, and comment. I know this angers people. It angers me because I have clients and I have you guys and I'm trying to tell you guys the best way to do something. And when policy and things keep changing, it just makes it frustrating. It does. Let me know in the comments. I get this stinks. I get that it stinks, but are you still gonna use Genie Plus? Has Genie Plus been working for you thus far? Are you a pass ride person, or have you been stacking? Again, if you're listening to this video, because it's recent, right? All this stuff happened yesterday, and you're like, oh, what the heck is she talking about? Please watch my other Genie Plus videos because that really will help bring all this full circle for you guys. But yes, as always, guys, thank you for watching. Mahalo, guys. Nina out.